se derrama que asciende de mí fuego esclava y empiezan sobre el libre.
El desarrollo integral de las competencias fundamentales y específicas del área de lenguas extranjeras es que aprender una lengua extranjera no solo implica involucrar la mente para razonar la mecánica de esta y expresar nuestras ideas, sino que también incluye sentirla en el corazón para expresar nuestros sentimientos más acariciados, y entre esos sentimientos está el amor patrio. ¿Ok?
And the Dominican Republic represents with its flag, shield, and hand. The flag is the most important symbol of freedom. What should we do to respect the national symbols? See in the hand, it's time when the national hand songs don't not wear a cap in front of the shield. Now the history of all nationality symbols have a correct and powerful attitude help raise the flag.
A place where we belong and we are linked. Thanks to the fight for freedom of our founding fathers, Duarte, Sanchez, and Mella, we are here. This country was founded by the great patriotic values these people had. Nowadays, the blood of these men flows in our veins. Nowadays, we are the Dominican Republic. Today, we are independent, but at the same time, we are so far from the values those men fought for. We wonder, what is justice? The justice Juan Pablo Duarte believed in. Where is the honor of the Dominican country? The answer is in front of us. The answer is in our heart, is in our behavior. Now, we have to work for the country Juan Pablo Duarte dreamed of. Now, our dishonor is to be silent to all the badness of our society. Will we be born by silence, or we will join forces to fight the problems of this beautiful country? We are Dominicans. We have to keep our beliefs and moral values. And we have to raise our voice that will never be burned. Thank you.
On February 27, 1844, revolutionary ferry boiled over the eastern side of the Caribbean island of La Española. Finally, coming into the open after years of covert planning, a group of La Trinitaria seized the forest of La Puerta del Conde in the city of Santo Domingo and beginning the war, the Dominican Republic independence. Dominicans declared independence as the Republic of Spanish Haiti in 1821. Despite being nominally free, however, the less wealthy and less densely populated half of the island came under the control of Haiti and entered into formal union with its neighbor in 1822. Haiti's revolution constituted one of the largest and most important slave revolts in all of history. Dominica suffered under Haitian rule. The western half of the island was clearly where the political influence lay, and the crippling debt imposed on Haiti by the French and other powers had a profoundly negative effect on the island economy as a whole. In 1838, three educated and enlightened Dominicans named Juan Pablo Duarte, Ramón Matías Mella, and Francisco de Rosario Sánchez founded a resistance organization. They named the organization La Trinitaria due to their decision to divide it into three smaller cells, each of which would operate with almost no knowledge of what the other cells were doing. In this highly secretive way, La Trinitaria set about gathering support from the general populace, even managing the covertly convert two regiments of the Haitian army. Finally, on February 27, 1844, they forced to make a move, though Duarte was away on the mainland seeking for support of the recently liberated people of Colombia and Venezuela. that Trinitarian resisted that the Haitian government had been made aware of the activities. Seizing the moment, they gathered roughly around 100 men and stormed La Puerta del Conde, forcing the Haitian army out of Santo Domingo. Sanchez fired cannon shot from the fort and raised the blue, red, and white flag of the Dominican Republic, which still flies over the country today. The Haitians fled the countryside as they retreated west, and fighting continued throughout the spring. The storming of La Puerta del Conde, however, represents a turning point in history of a nation that had long been subjugated first by the Spanish and then by its Haitian neighbors. Thank you.
Until a group of people tired of domination and slavery made the decision to reveal themselves against the Haitians to finally get the freedom of our nation. These people created a secret society. On May 16, 1838, the 9 founders proclaimed the society with a 3-member triple base called La Trinitaria. They also created a philanthropy to promote independent ideas through theater. Juan Pablo Duarte, Matías Ramón Mella, Francisco de Rosario Sanchez, and their partners were persecuted when Charles Gerald, the Haitian president at that time, came to Santo Domingo. Then, Duarte was exiled to Caracas, Venezuela. After years of fighting the Haitians, on 1844, our independent soldiers were going to execute their plan to get us to be free. And as they planned, they did. They agreed that the signal would be Matías Ramón Mella's shot in the air at the door of mercy. From there to head to the bulwark of the Count, where they will proclaim the new independent nation along with the God, Homeland, and Freedom Watchword. February 27th on 1844 was the day in which we were free and independent of all foreign power. Thank you very much.
Good afternoon. My name is Jasmine Vargas, and today I am here in representation of San Vicente de Paul School. Extending my warmest greeting to all of you, I would like to start by expressing my sincere thanks to Maynard for this opportunity that has been given to me. The patriotic symbols conform an essential and undividable part of our country. Looking at our trichromatic colored flag, our hymn, and our national shield, we can assure that these hold very inside of them our identity since 1844 until forever. Nothing is quite as true as the rewarding feeling that we all get when listening to our national hymn, despite of living here or outside of the country. The pride that fills our hearts when we spot our waving flag at any time, on any place, with our very own shield that distinguishes us from every other country. Since the day we are born as Dominicans, lies in us a commitment that must be assumed with the forehead high, even higher than any other belief that is practiced. Because although freedom is priceless, it is certainly a luxury that fades easily if you don't have the guts to fight tirelessly until the end. It is more than necessary that we keep in mind that nowadays our country suffers in many ways, infringing our rights and underestimating the worth and capability of the patriotic sentiment that lives inside of every Dominican out there that loves this country. Today, I motivate everyone who can preach this message to exalt those values and attitudes that define our identity as fighters that unite people, races, social classes, and beliefs under the name of Dominicans. Let's honor that name and fight under every prognosis for what is rightfully ours, while we proudly remember those situations under which we now have patriotic symbols that identify us. Finally, it is everyone's job to care for and respect what represents us. That, after all, is the most genuine and sincere way of loving and appreciating who we are, Dominicans. Thank you very much.
Authorities teachers, and students here present. For me, it's a big honor to share with you all on this beautiful day. My name is Alexander Paulino. I am 16 years old. I live in Loma de la Joya, and I am coursing last year in the high school Monsignor Francisco Panay. As we already know, on February 27, the Day of National Independence of the Dominican Republic is celebrated in our country. But to talk about the national independence of the Dominican Republic is not just celebrate another day on the calendar. It is to remember those greatest Dominicans who gave us the opportunity to live in a country where your rights, me rights, I respect, and where the laws be about a particular interest. It is also to reflect the advances that we have had as a country and those that we need to reach. Don't ask what your country can do for you. Ask yourself what you can do for your country. Words as implicit like that were taken so seriously by three Dominicans, Duarte, Sanchez, and Mella, who with great pride and courage gave us what we today call our national independence. At the same time, they gave their life and effort in exchange to a homeland. However, the saddest and more regrettable thing about this is that today there are conservative, corrupt politicians who want to sell our country to get life. That is something that we as Dominicans cannot allow. Let's follow the examples of Duarte. Let's work to and for the country. That is the same working for our children and for ourselves. In conclusion, I would like to say that we have a force which unites all in common, and it is the pride we have of being Dominicans. Thanks so much.
Thanks for the opportunity of being here today. I'm Jovanny Rosario. I'm from high school Pedro Francisco Bono. The past February 27, our country celebrated 176th anniversary of the national independence. Remember, the history allows us to identify with our patriotic symbols. Also, command us to honor day after day our predecessors that martyred for the freedom of what today we know as the Dominican Republic. The hated occupation of the eastern part of the island lasts 22 years. This occupation wants to obtain the eastern territory to Haiti. This produced an immediate great discomfort on the Spanish inhabitants because the language, culture, religion, and the political organization was very different.
Hi, I'm Victoria Dominguez. I represent Carolina Valenzuela School. I'm in the second grade. Thanks to the authorities that make up the table of honor that exalt us with their presence. Today, we are meeting in our 0706 Educational District of San Francisco de Macorís to express the consideration of patriotic values. Just as one day the men and women's heroes of the homeland did, so by bringing tears, sweat, and blood, to grant us a free and sovereign republic. Days ago, since on February 27, we celebrate the most significant ephemeris for the Dominican people's natural independence, 176th anniversary of occasion was commemorate what the father of the homeland offered their life to the free. Of hate to educate men to respect the laws. Without laws, there is no human society, and laws have values only if each person accepts, respects them, and makes them respect, as Juan Bosch once said.
Valenzuela School. In the second grade, we call the people who make up the table of honor that the South use with their presence. That's how we behind this song speak today on the situation that our country is going through in the wake of the 12 elections that took place on February 16th of this year. As I have now at the Central Electoral Board was forced to suspend the elections due to the irregular that happened. However, this entity has not been able to give an accurate explanation of the happening. For this reason, many young people, adults, and the people in the general sense have been forced to ask for classification of this situation, throwing himself into the streets, not only nationally but also internationally, implement different strategies such as song about this use, homemade, painting, slogan, banners, among others. These demonstrations have proved the relationship of entrepreneurs and traders in the general sense, which have been calling for a dialogue and a political agreement where the parties in the Central Electoral Board commit to a clean election and without trouble. Our democracy is above any party interest because it is on the side of blood, sacrifice, life, and economic sacrifice. So we cannot simply lose it for particular interest, directed to him.